Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Doctor Who reaction. This is the finale of season 14, episode 8, Empire of Death. And, well, what sort of finale are we going to get? I'm a bit worried that, because rule of thumb generally is first parts are better than second parts when it comes to Doctor Who. There are exceptions, obviously, but it does get me worried. So all the comments from the last few episodes have been mostly about who Mrs. Flood is and who Ruby's origins are. Now that we know that Susan Twist is I'm going to say a disciple, a disciple of Sutekh. Obviously, I've watched Pyramids of Mars this week so that I was refamiliarised myself with it. Then I watched Tales of the TARDIS, which turned out to be a slightly remixed, very slightly edited version of Pyramids of Mars, so I ended up watching it twice. I haven't watched it for years. Watched it twice in 1 week. So I think Sutekh, Susan Twist, is like Marcus. What was his name? I can't remember. Like Marcus in Pyramids of Mars. His mind has been, or her mind has been taken over by Sutekh. What else? Mrs. Flood. A lot of people said Carol Flood, which would work for River Song, Melody Pond. It's a song and a body of water, or a water reference. If her name is Carol, I don't remember anybody ever actually mentioning her name, her first name. It could be River Song, but I don't think so. I said that last episode that I didn't think it was Sutekh, and I was wrong. So I don't think it's going to end up being River Song. I think we've seen all the regenerations of River Song that we're ever going to get. So is she Ruby's mother? I don't think that's going to be the case either. Is she the Susan Foreman that we've been teased all this time? Again, I don't think so. I've got no clear idea of who Mrs. Flood is, or who she's going to turn out to be, if anybody at all. Is she maybe an older version of one of the other companions? If they're gonna bring a companion back like that, they're gonna get the actress, if they're an actor, if they're available. And I don't think they'll be so disrespectful to some of the older companions that have passed away to recast. So I don't think she's that. I don't think she's a past companion grown up or anything like that. I don't know. I really don't know. Ruby's origin. A lot of people pointed out that Ruby's feature quite heavily in the Sutekh legend in Doctor Who. There was a Ruby on the big dog thing that came out the TARDIS. There was rubies in Pyramids of Mars on the backs of the mummy robots. It was their control panel sensor thing. So it could be that she's an incarnation of Horus or one of the Osirans. Maybe she is an Osiran. Like in Pyramids of Mars, it really sort of gave the impression that the Osirans had died out centuries ago. But I've got a funny feeling that her origin ties in with the whole Sutekh, and maybe she's been sent here to stop Sutekh. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm usually at this point so full of theories, so wacky and out there that I can't contain them. And this time I've got absolutely nothing. I've got nothing. I have absolutely got nothing. I've been thinking about this all week, and I still, the mysterious figure that we see, that was the, yeah, this is okay. The mysterious figure that we see walking away, we don't know that that is actually Ruby's mother. We assume it because, do we see her leaving the church, leaving the baby by the church? She could just be the one that happens to drop the baby off. She might not be the mother. No. Everything in this episode is going to be a surprise to me because I've got no theories whatsoever. I'm just going to get on with it. I've got no. I can't. What can I say? I thought I was going to have a lot to talk about, and I've been giving it lots and lots of thought over this week, but I can't come up with anything that even remotely sounds feasible. More powerful now. Oh God. That's not going to work. Morris looks like he's enjoying that a little bit too much.
All the bullets turn to dust, ma'am.
I bring Sutekh's dust of death.
With thanks and love. And please send this monster back into hell. No! Because I had to. Birds will sing again. There will be...
No! Oh, it's got to be a reversal of time then. It's got to be, you've got to let it play out and then...
I'm so sorry. It ends like this. I had such plans.
Oh. What plans did she have?
Doctor, what is that thing?
Sutekh, the death of ages, the Typhonian beast. The greatest monster I have ever fought.
I clung to your infernal machine, and for so many years, I hid. I have
Oh my God.
for all this time.
Utopia.
Riding the spine of your ship, staring into eternity, and evolving into my true godhood. I created an apparition of her universally. Every time we landed on every single world, I birthed them all. My angel.
Ah, what, since the beginning?
I bring Sutekh's dust of death.
Oh, clever.
I am coming.
With both the hearts of the last of the Time Lords, I will stop you. I will defeat
I don't think you can.
and I will turn back death.
I mean, you're going to have to, but...
Killing me is your gift. And believe me, Sutekh, I am an extinction event. So what is stopping you? Why is the god of death not killing me?
Good
What
point.
am I missing?
What is it?
It's a memory of the TARDIS.
Bits and pieces of every TARDIS that ever was, held together by hopes.
That's where all the other tales of the TARDIS have been set. So he's flying the memory of a TARDIS. That's not even the wackiest thing that's ever happened.
Venus, Telos, Khan.
Khan, even. It's even reached Khan? How can it reach Khan? There's galaxies away.
I did this.
You did not.
You did. That's why the Time Lords have the rule, no meddling.
The universe stands silent in death. Yet one thing persists. One No, greater than him.
Greater than...
Secret the child carries with her.
Excuse me. Can you tell me, where are we?
No idea. Absolutely no idea, darling.
Who is the little one?
I think I called her Brindle.
You
Brindle
think?
D. But I forget.
Well, at least you survived.
I'm not sure I did, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure
The thing
either.
is,
Have you got any metal?
Metal.
metal is a precious thing, sir.
I don't think anything's precious anymore.
I'll forget it in a minute.
That's very kind of you. Might save the universe with a spoon.
That would be nice.
Didn't he fight Robin Hood with the spoon?
A metal, not TARDIS memory, something real. Thank you, whoever you were. Look.
I still don't get it. What changed? Sutek was hidden for years. Why did he go on the attack?
The time window is still connected to your...
That's so trickster-like.
But what does this have to do with my mother?
Sutek became visible outside the church because when he landed with the TARDIS in 2004, he saw the one thing beyond his comprehension. Your mother. She drives us crazy, but Sutek, oh...
She was pointing at
He's
Sutek.
been riding on the back of the TARDIS, beholding all of time and space, and then he can't see one woman. One woman, one singular, mysterious woman. No wonder he's keeping us alive.
Okay, then who's that?
I mean, the government has collapsed. In shame, in absolute shame.
Let me see.
It's given her clues.
That's 2046. You haven't met him, have you?
Didn't she change that?
No, I couldn't, could I?
Then why is it showing you?
It is showing us the way, Ruby. It's showing us the path to your mother. If I could just...
What does that mean? Can we find Ruby's mother?
Yeah, and what happens if we do?
One question at a time.
You woke up quickly, Mel. Mel's already been infected. Oh, good grief. This is a big mystery. Who is the mother? Who is Ruby? Nearly 30 minutes in, I'm still got no idea.
Mel, you better keep watch. Sutek service could be anywhere. And don't take any risks. We're all getting out of this.
Submit to me, Melanie.
She died. She died. Ruby, I'm sorry. I loved you, Mel.
What good did love do, Doctor? Bring me the Time Lord and the child, and their precious secret.
Oh, so the real TARDIS is on the way now. Oh.
The screen. It found the name. It's the only thing I've ever wanted for all these years. But now I've found it. And I don't understand. But maybe you can. You great big god of nothing.
Wow. Like a dog on a leash, they can, what? Then cut the string, cut the rope.
What happens if you bring death to death? You bring life.
Do ya? Oh. God, he's ripping a hole in the time vortex. and they've been released from their servitude. Oh, and they've come back to life, back to life. It's reversing Thanos' snap. We couldn't say goodbye to Kate, come on. Everybody lives. But he's still going to be out there somewhere. He could still come back.
We've done it.
DNA retrieval 100%.
And
she was important because we think she's important. It's how everything happens. Every war, every religion, every love story.
yeah.
Invest.
Screw you, Russell. Just tell her you had a good life, that you've grown up well.
Ruby?
That's me. I was named after a road. Ruby Road. You left me by a church 19 years ago. Oh my God. You left me where I was safe. And I just want to say thank you.
Oh, wow. Emotional. I wasn't expecting that. Well, I was expecting that. Oh, God. Yes, I was expecting it to be emotional. I just didn't realise until now.
I think they
What?
found him. My dad, William, they think... Because it turns out his mum and dad still live at the same address. So we've got to go,
And so is the Doctor. You're needed on Earth, Ruby. You need to take control of your life again.
And that's how the story of the church on Ruby Road comes to an end.
Is it?
With a very happy ending for little Ruby.
This is Mrs. Flood speaking, isn't it? Oh, hello. That's a change.
Oh, what happens to that mysterious traveller in time and space known as the Doctor? I'm sorry to say his story ends in absolute terror. Night, night.
What? Well, I don't know what to say about that. That was not the conclusion I was expecting, but it was good nonetheless. The whole business about defeating Sutekh was wrapped up rather nicely. I love the whole stakes, everything dying. Very, very Marvel, very Infinity War. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. And I am going to take a small break, and I'll come back with some more thoughts a little later. Well, in a minute. Okay then, that was a pretty good finale. Did it match the first part? Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, as a whole, I think it was pretty standard fare for an RTD finale. Was it the best finale Doctor Who's had? No. Is it the worst? Also no. I'm not sure where it would rank, but yeah, generally I liked it. I mean, I always knew it was going to be a kind of a retcon episode where we see things going from the ultimate worst it could possibly be, and everything being restored and renewed at the end. A little bit like Last of the Time Lords trilogy. Utopia, Last of the Time Lords. I can't remember what the fourth. I can't remember what the other one's called. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So what answers did we get? We got an answer to Ruby's heritage. who Ruby's mother actually is, and I'm very difficult, actually. I'm in two minds about this one, because I liked the idea that she just wasn't anything special in the end, that Ruby made her special, and the mystery compounded just by the fact that they didn't know who she was, that she remained off grid for so long. How, I've no idea, but I like that idea, but at the same time I'm not buying it, because the only reason we made her special was because we couldn't see her, and that was something. They should have been able to pick up something at that point if she was so ordinary. The fact that in the end they found her so easily, and that they mentioned her father, who was still living in the same area or something. So how is it that Davina and others found it so impossible to find any trace of her heritage? There's still something there, I think. I'm not sure what, but if her mother isn't special, maybe it's her father. And if neither of her parents are special, then maybe there's something about just the way, the manner in which Ruby came to be. There's something there, and I don't know what it is, but if it's not the mother, it has to be something else. When we get to Mrs. Flood, said a couple of things this episode which were very odd, and I think RTD's already said that this has been completely deliberate and it's a slow burn, and we're not going to find out the truth behind Mrs. Flood until next season, possibly. First of all, she said, she asked Cherry, do you believe in the power of prayer? Under the circumstances, the fact that she knew that Sutek's dust of death was imminent, it seems a fairly normal thing to say, especially to someone you know to be extremely religious. But on the other hand, it seemed a very, very weird thing to say if you didn't know what was coming. There's something about the phrase that I don't like, and especially just before they got turned to dust, she said, I had such plans. What plans? And then we see her at the end, and I'll get back to that. Sutek, good CGI, passable CGI. I think there may have been some puppetry involved there as well in certain scenes. I don't think the character of Sutek looked particularly great. When head on, it looked really good. From the side, it looked a bit weird. And not so good. So I don't know what was going on there on the design, but as another reviewer has already stated, and I will agree with, once Sutek had destroyed the universe, which happened pretty quickly into this episode, there wasn't a lot for him to do until, he just sort of hung around, interfering slightly with Mel. No, that sounds wrong. Taking over Mel's mind slightly for a while, but otherwise doing nothing until he was defeated. So it's a little bit of a waste. And also, Sutek referred to, I don't know, I might have been mishearing this. But I'm sure Sutek referred to Ruby's mother as the one who always lives, or there is one that always lives, and then referred it back to the mystery woman that Ruby's secret. Obviously talking about her mother. Yeah, no. Back to the... I think there's something more going on with Ruby's mum than we've been told. And I'm not entirely sure whether I want that reveal or not, because I do like the idea of Ruby's mum being normal. Then, yeah, when we got to meet Ruby's mum, or Ruby got to meet Ruby's mum, it was a lot more emotional than I was expecting. I was expecting an emotional episode, but I was expecting it from a completely different direction. That floored me a little bit. And it was very, very beautiful. Especially the part where Ruby thanks her mother for giving her up and keeping her safe. Because I think it was implied that there was an abuser stepfather in the background. And obviously she was only 15. She was nowhere near to being able to raise Ruby herself. So a difficult choice, but the best choice for Ruby. And Ruby acknowledges that with a thank you and welcomes her into her family, into her proper, the only family she's ever known, Carla and Cherry. I thought that was lovely. I really, really did like that. So we get to the end, and we have Mrs. Flood dressed all in white. Snow Queen. I don't think so. All in white with the umbrella, Missy umbrella, maybe. Not that I think any of that. But she delivers that speech to the camera. Fourth wall break again. This is what, the third time Mrs. Flood has broken the fourth wall. And a lot of people in the comments. I mean, the doctor has. I'm trying to jump too far ahead of myself. Sorry. Where was I? Yes. Doctor has broken the fourth wall before. It's been pointed out in a video by someone. The fourth wall breaks are quite legendary. But people have been in the comments about the fourth wall breaks that Mrs. Flood has been doing. A lot more than you would think necessary, considering it's something that's happened before. So these comments are trying to point out that the doctor knows that he's in a TV show. And I mean, that has worked as a plot device several times in TV and film, but it did get me thinking. I don't like the idea, and I don't want that to be the case, because it kind of retcons everything that's gone before as being the same. But what if Mrs. Flood is a god? One of the gods that they've been talking about. God of stories. And it did make me think that we've had some really good stories this season. Like 73 Yards. 73 Yards wasn't a normal Doctor Who episode. It was a story within a story. And that's the thing that got me thinking. Is she the god of stories? Is she creating a narrative of her own and having it being played out in real time? Similar to how the toy maker makes a game of things in real time. It's my only explanation for who Mrs. Flood is. And what with the whole myth becoming reality thing that we've had, and Sutekh being a god now because of the myth of everything, and before he was just an extremely powerful alien from the Osiran race. Okay, right, a couple of other scenes I want to talk about. The Woman and the Spoon. Once all the destruction had occurred, one planet was left. Well, some planet had to be lost, and the last planet to fall contained the woman. And she said all about that memories were dying and facts were dying. And I liked that. I liked that, Sutekh is the god of death of everything. Not just the physical, not just physical life and planets, but the death of fact, the death of memory, the death of truth and hope and everything good, everything bad. That's going into a realm that I quite like. Susan Twist was in fact just a vessel for Sutekh, and was released once Sutekh had been defeated and hired by UNIT. Now, I like the explanation. I said something about splinters before, and I like the idea that that Sutekh was hanging onto the TARDIS and creating a seed everywhere he landed across the entirety of space and time, possibly since Pyramids of Mars. And that's the vessels that brought about the destruction of the universe. I like that idea. And when we saw the flashbacks where Sutekh was explaining this very thing, we see scenes from the TV movie and City of Death, and I think The Mysterious Planet, but it could have been The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. We were being shown shots of actual Tom Baker and later era Doctor Who stories, which does imply that Sutekh had been hanging around, getting more and more powerful all that time. Love the explanation, but why, as UNIT, why would you hire someone who was a vessel for this god? I think Kate is being a little bit recruitment happy, employing anyone that's even had contact with the Doctor. It seems a little bit too much. That's just me. So next we've got the Christmas special, which Ruby may or may not be in. I forgot to mention. I'll just wedge it in here quickly. Sutekh was defeated way too easily. I find this with a lot of shows, to be quite honest. Too much time concentrating on the setup or concentrating on non-plot points, and then trying to wrap up the entire story in 10 minutes at the end. Endings always feel rushed in TV shows these days, and this was no different. And the whole dog leash thing, I mean, it kind of works because it's the same punishment that the Doctor tried to inflict on Sutekh in Pyramids of Mars. No particular reason why it's going to work any differently this time, but there you go. Anyway, next we've got the Christmas special, which I will be doing a reaction to, don't worry. We don't know whether Ruby's going to be in it or not, because she has left to, that's similar to Martha. She's left to bring her family, her now extended family, closer together, and maybe go look for her father. So, don't know if Ruby's going to be in the Christmas special. She's definitely going to be in at least 3 episodes of the next season. So we're going to see her again. So we could get some answers, even so. And that's about all I have to say at this moment. It's been 20 minutes, but I have done a lot of umming and ahhing. Yeah, this is me saying goodbye. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time, hopefully, for the Christmas special. And in that episode, we will discuss whether I will continue doing reactions to Doctor Who for Season 2, Season 15. that's not necessarily out of the question, but it's not necessarily a given either. I haven't decided yet, because it would be nice to actually watch it on the night that it airs and not have to wait until I get time to actually record it as a reaction. It'd be nice to watch it and build up my thoughts organically and then do a review of the episode. As you can tell, when I'm not given enough time to reflect on my thoughts, my reviews turn out garbage. But we'll see. We'll discuss it in the next episode, which there definitely will be a reaction to. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Keep well. See you later. Bye bye.